Hey guys, it's Jen. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm showing you how to make some Instant Pot egg bites. These are a Copycat Starbucks recipe and they are really good to have on hand in the refrigerator to reheat for breakfast during the week. So the first thing you're going to need is an Instant Pot. You will also need 6 eggs, 4 ounces of either chopped ham, or you could use bacon or cooked sausage as well. You'll also need 8 ounces of your favorite cheese. I'm using Gouda cheese, as well as some cottage cheese. The recipe calls for cream, but I had half and half in the fridge, and that's what I used, and they turned out great. And then you'll also need some salt and some pepper. And then hot sauce is optional, but I did add it to mine. To make this recipe, you'll also need these silicone egg cups. You can find these on Amazon. They're around $10 each. I'll leave a link below if you're interested in purchasing these exact ones. And then optional is this trivet. This makes it so that you can stack those on top of one another in the Instant Pot and make more than one batch at a time. So the first thing you want to do is just crack your eggs into a bowl. And then go ahead and grate your cheese. You can definitely use shredded cheese if you want to, but I always like shredding my own. So I'm just going to shred that up quick. And then the original recipe said to add it all to the egg mixture, but I saved some to add separately, so you'll see that a little bit later. Then I'm going to add 3/4 of a cup of cottage cheese and half a cup of half and half. Next, I'll just season it with salt and a few dashes of hot sauce and some ground pepper. So you can use a regular blender to mix this up, but I actually find it a lot easier to use an immersion blender, which is what I'm using here. If you don't have a blender, you could also use a food processor. That would definitely work as well. You want to make sure when you're making this that you put this in a bowl big enough to blend it up, because you can see that it gets rather liquidy and you don't want to make a mess. Okay, so I'm just going to chop up my ham. Like I said, you could definitely use any kind of protein that you wanted in this recipe. I happen to have some ham on hand, so that's what I'm using, but if you had leftover crumbled bacon, you could use that too. So what you want to do is just put a little bit of your ham in the bottom of each of the little egg cups, and then I just went ahead and put a little bit of shredded cheese on top of that. And then I'm just using a small measuring cup to pour the egg mixture over the meat and the cheese. You can see that it kind of bubbles up a little bit, and so to make sure that I get everything all mixed up, I'm just taking a knife and kind of stirring it around a little bit, and that will give me a little bit of room to put a little bit more egg mixture on top. Don't worry about those drips on the top of the tray. You'll just be able to wipe them right off as soon as you finish cooking it. So next I'm just going to fill up my second tray. Okay, so I have my Instant Pot here, and this is the trivet that came with the Instant Pot. So I'm just going to place that in there and pour in 1 cup of water. This is what is going to steam your eggs. And then I will carefully put my first silicone tray there in the bottom on top of the trivet. Next, I'm going to put this 3-inch trivet on top of that. I'm actually not going to link this in the description box below, because this was definitely not the right trivet for me to purchase for my 8-quart Instant Pot. It was a little bit short and I definitely made it work, but you'll see at the end that the ones on the bottom were a little bit misshapen. So I would not recommend buying this size trivet. I'll have to do some research and get back with you guys on a better one. Either way, if you don't have a trivet, you could definitely just do it in batches. So the next thing you want to do is just set your Instant Pot to steam for 8 minutes. And then once it's done, let it do a natural pressure release for 10 minutes. And then go ahead and vent any additional pressure that's in the pot. Okay, so you can see that the little red button there is down. That means all of the pressure is out. So now I can open the Instant Pot. So here you can see the top batch, how they puff up, and then you can see a little bit of the mess that the bottom tray made. It still worked out fine. I was able to salvage them, but a little bit kind of fell over into the pot. I just fed those to the dog. Okay, so here are my egg bites. You can see that the tray that was on top looks a little bit prettier than the one that was on the bottom, but that's fine. They will taste just the same. So one thing that you can do is just pack these into containers and reheat them for your breakfast during the week. I'm just gonna pop these out onto a plate with a paper towel. They are a little bit watery just because of the steaming and all the liquid in them, so I find that that helps get some of the water out. But these are really good. I would definitely recommend making them. They are low carb, high protein, and just a great breakfast to have on hand. So I hope you try this recipe soon. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.